John Corley, could I ask the Taoiseach if he has seen the speech which was made yesterday by the Archbishop of Dublin, Archbishop Martin, in which he says that it is no longer tenable to have 92% of all the primary schools in the country managed by the Catholic Church, in which he describes that situation as an almost monopoly, which he says is a historical hangover which does not reflect the realities of today's Ireland, and in which he goes on to suggest that there should be new models for the management of primary schools, which would provide for parental choice and which would reflect the diversity of life in today's Ireland. Archbishop Martin has suggested that there should be dialogue between the state and the Catholic Church on this matter, and he has also suggested that there should be a national forum to discuss new models for the patronage and management of schools. Could I ask the Taoiseach if he would agree, first of all, with Archbishop Martin in that general assessment? Secondly, if he will take up the offer or the suggestion which has been made by Archbishop Martin for a dialogue between the state and the Catholic Church in relation to the patronage and management of schools, and if he would agree to establish the National Forum on Education and on future patronage and management of schools, which was suggested by Archbishop Martin, if he would take up that suggestion and establish such a forum. Well, we've had church-state dialogue for some time, and the Taoiseach will recall that his predecessor put in place a process for the holding of church-state discussions and talks of a general nature. But specifically in relation to the patronage and management of schools, this is not the first time that Archbishop Martin has expressed these views. And it would appear to me that he is far ahead of the government on this issue. For example, he was able to outline in some detail yesterday in his speech the details of ownership of schools and school properties, which the Department of Education, or the Minister for Education, was unable to provide in reply to a Dáil question which was tabled by Deputy Rory Quinn some weeks ago. He has specifically suggested a mechanism for the conduct of talks about schools, and that is the idea of a national forum on education and on education management and patronage. And I want to ask the Taoiseach again if the government would agree to the setting up of such a forum, which would be the means by which discussions can take place in a reasoned way and over a period of time between the state, the churches, the various educational interests, the various bodies who are currently patrons of schools or who wish to be patrons of schools, and which can be open to hearing the views of the different stakeholders in the education system, parents, teachers and so on. It's a specific suggestion from the Archbishop of Dublin about the setting up of a national education forum, and I want to ask the Taoiseach again if he will agree to set up such a forum. I think it is a very progressive suggestion made by the Archbishop of Dublin. I think it is one that should be agreed to, and I would ask the Taoiseach to agree to it and to have it set up as soon as possible.